Your love right here in the palm of my hand. I lost it. I lost it. And love for you. What a man can feel. Lost it. I lost it. Maybe if I had spent more time with you, maybe then you still be mine. Oh, and only if I had been just a little more kind, there'd be no need, no, it's bad. So I need the had my dream so near, I could reach out and touch, and I lost it, and I lost it, and the world's complete. It was all so sweet, and I lost it, and I lost it. Maybe if I spent just a little more time with you, maybe then you'd still be mine. And only if I had been just a little more kind to you, been only I was made from my hand. Oh, I just have such maybe if I had spent more time, maybe then, maybe then you'd still be mine, baby. Like think about it, and only if I had been just a little more kind, you know me, maybe on this man was made trying. No, you say, I'm sorry, baby. Silly, I don't know what to say. Oh, no, no, no. That's a song by Teddy Pendergrass saying, I don't care if TikTok and Facebook and YouTube don't play the song, but I'm gonna tell you about it. um, that's a song called from Teddy Pendergrass. Um, it's talking about the whole world is laughing at me, right? It says the whole town is laughing at me. I had your love right here in the palm of my hand, and I lost it. I lost it. Had a love so real one man could feel, and I lost it. I lost it. Right? That's what African American people or black people in America thought how um this government and the European people felt about them. African American people and Hebrew people felt like the United States government and the European people loved them so much. And now we're in this moment, right? Where we're saying, how could I lose your love? How could you do all these things to me after I've been so faithful to you? How could I lose my love? He says, maybe I had spent more time with you. Maybe then you'll still be mine. That's what we're saying at this moment in time, right? If I just spent more time with you, maybe you'll still be mine. Maybe you'll still be mine. Maybe you'll still love me. And you wouldn't have took my voting rights away and you wouldn't have tried to take me back to Jim Crow. Maybe if I just spent more time with you, you wouldn't do the things that you're doing to me. It says, only if I had been just a little more kind to you. Only if I'd have been a little bit more kind to you. There'd be no need, no, for this man, oh no, to be crying. That's the mentality that we as a people of color feel right now. What did I do to deserve this? What did I do to deserve what I'm getting ready to go through? Because I don't gave you everything. I don't gave you everything that I possibly could give you as a person. I have gave you my time. I have gave you my money. I have gave you my children to go fight in war for you. I have gave you my abilities to compete in the Olympics for you to represent this country. I have did all these. I have given you my inventions. I did all these things for you. And I'm still saying, maybe if I could have done a little bit more for you, maybe I wouldn't have lost my voting rights. Maybe I wouldn't have lost or put my situation. Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, my brother Greg. Maybe I wouldn't have put myself in situations where you're taking my voting rights away. You're trying to take me back to Jim Crow slavery. Maybe I would. Maybe I wouldn't have. Maybe I could have done something else to be able to prove to you that I love you. Maybe I could have done. Maybe I could have gave you more of my taxes. More I could have made sure that some of my kids could have went into the military and fought for this country. Maybe I could have gave you more of my inventions to see that to show you that I love you. Maybe I could have done all these things. Maybe I could have done. What else could I have done to show you that I love you so that you wouldn't have tried to push me back to the Jim Crow era? Maybe if I could have just said, okay, you can have 75% of my taxes from my check, maybe you wouldn't have tried to take maybe put me more incarcerated, put me in prison. But because now you have put me in, now you are getting ready to put me back into the Jim Crow era. But I put all my trust in you. I put all my love into you. I even voted for you. I even told my kids to vote for you. I told you, let me send my kids to your schools and your universities so that they could be able to make money for the PWIs. How much money do the PWIs predominantly white universities make off black athletes? Maybe if I could have just continued to send all my kids to your PWIs, maybe you could have made more money. Maybe you would have helped my kids. Maybe you would have tried to put me back into Jim Crow. Maybe if I could have just kept pushing my kids to your little league sports and making your institutions be looking better and mine continue to look better, maybe you wouldn't have pushed me and you wouldn't have took my voting rights away. Maybe you wouldn't have tried to push me back to Jim Crow. But now the whole world is laughing at me because I've given you everything that I possibly could give you, and you still spit in my face. Now you still spit in my face, even after I have given you everything that I possibly could have given you. My sons and my daughters fought in your wars from 1964 on up from Vietnam. Even the Buffalo Soldiers, they started to push the native Indians down to Mexico. Even when we was in bondage, the Buffalo Soldier was still working for you. When we fought in the Korean War, the Vietnam War, World War I and World War II, who helped you win these wars and who helped you overcome these nations, who helped defeat other nations for you? But you still say that wasn't good enough. I still need you to do more. Okay, we helped you with your inventions here in Ford with the assembly line of the Ford plant. Okay, we helped you with the fatigue experiment. We use our own people, knowingly that they was being experimented on for the simplest program. We allowed you to use our own people for experiments, but that still wasn't enough. That still wasn't enough. You used our own people to bring in the crack cocaine into our own communities and destroy generations of people, but that still wasn't enough. That still wasn't enough. You brought in the women's right movement to destroy our family because you understood the unity of the black community or the Hebrew community. So you said, we're going to bring in the women's right movement so that I can destroy their family. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use their women to destroy their families by giving their women's money and employment so that they can overcome their husband and let them know that their husband, they don't need their husbands anymore. I'm going to set them up for failure for the future because I know at a point in time, Jacob's going to have to go through some more trouble. I know that I'm going to do this and I'm intentionally setting them up for failure because the simple fact is of what they are doing and what they have done. But we still don't get it. The whole world is laughing at us because of the simple fact that we've been a fool for some silly people. We still gonna participate in the Olympics. We still gonna participate in the Winter Olympics. We still are going to send our schools and our children to these PWIs. We still gonna support the SEC. We're gonna still support the ACC when they are making money off our children. But they just pushed us back to the Jim Crow. I'm not upset because the simple fact is that they pushed us back to the Jim Crow. I'm upset because our people don't realize the the severity of the conditions that we're in as a people. That's what I'm upset about because we don't see the severity. We don't see what is actually taking place in this world. Because we think that we're still in kumbaya land. But when they're sucking the life out of our children and our families, every day they're sucking life and blood out of our children. But we can't see it. 87 to 80% of our households are ran by single parent women. Why? Because the simple fact that they told the women that they don't need them. Now they set them for divine failure. But they're laughing at us because the simple fact is we were silly fools. We thought if we could just spend more time with them, we could do this and we can do that for them, they're going to love us. But they just showed you right in front of our faces that I don't care nothing about you. It's all about me and preserving my life, my heritage, and my people. Let me read my prayer this morning. Then I get started. Because Jacob, you finna get ready to go through some trouble. Get ready to go through some trouble, Jacob. You're getting ready to go through some trouble. This is my prayer this morning. Psalms 109. Hold not thy peace, O Adonai, of my praise. For the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful are open against me. They have spoken against me with a lying tongue. They have compassed me about also with words of hatred, and fought against me without a cause. For my love, listen to this. Listen to this. For my love, they are my adversaries, but I gave myself unto prayer. They have rewarded me for evil for good. Everything that we try to do that was good to them, they rewarded us with evil. And they have rewarded me evil for good and hatred for my love. Hatred for my love. And this is what he said. Maybe if I had spent more time with you, maybe then, you'll still be mine. They have rewarded me evil for good and hatred for my love. Set thou a wicked man over him. This is my prayer. Set thou a wicked man over him, and let Satan stand at his right hand. When he shall be judged, let him be condemned, and let his prayers become sin. Let his days be few, and let another take his office. Let his children be fatherless, and his mother's a widow, his wife a widow. Let his children be continually vagabonds and beg, and let them seek their bread, also out of their desolation places. Let the exaltationals catch all that he has, and let the stranger spoils his labor. Let there be none to extend mercy unto him, neither let there be any to favor his fatherless children. Let his prosperity be cut off, and in the generations following, let their names be blotted out. Let the iniquities of his fathers be remembered with the Lord, and let not the sins of his mothers be blotted out. Let them be before Yahuwah continuously, that he may cut off the memories of them from the earth. Because that he remembered not to show mercy, but persecuted the poor and the needy man, that he might even slay the broken in heart. As he loved cursing, so let it come unto him. As he delight not in blessing, so let it be far from him. He clothed himself with cursing like as with a garment. So let it come into his bowels like water, and like oil into his bones. Let it be unto him as a garment which covered him, and for a girdle wherewith he girdled continuously. Let this be the reward of my adversaries from Yahuwah, and of them that speak evil against my soul. But do thou for me, O Yahuwah Anani, for my name's sake, because thy mercy is good. Delight thou, deliver thou me. For I am poor and needy, my heart is wounded within me. I am gone like the shadows when it declines. I am tossed up and down as the locust. My knees are weak through fasting, and my flesh fail of fatness. I became also a reproach unto them. When they look upon me, they shake their heads. Help me, O Yehuda Anani. O save me according to thy mercy, that they may know that this is thy hand, that thou, Yahuwah, hast done it. Let them curse, but bless thou. When they arise, let them be ashamed, but let thy servant rejoice. Let my adversaries be clothed with shame, and let them cover themselves with their own confusion, as with a mantle. I will greatly praise Yahuwah with my mouth. Yea, I will praise him among the multitudes, for he shall stand at the right hand of the poor to save him from those that condemn his soul. That's my prayer this morning. That's my prayer this morning, because we need to understand what's actually taking place. We need to actually understand what's taking place in our society. Amen. Let us go to Jeremiah chapter 30. Key verse is verse 7. I don't taught on this before, but I'm going to teach on it again today. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. The teaching I have for you today is trouble is on the horizon. This too must come to pass. Trouble is on the horizon, but this too must come to pass. The two words that I have for you today is threat. Threat means oppression, menace, to trouble, worry, determination to afflict, punishment, loss, or pain on another person. Everything that you see today is to inflict pain and punishment on a set of one group of people. Promise. It is written or verbal, made by one person to another, which bind the person who makes it, either in honor or consent of law, to do or forbear a certain act specified. Okay? Let me do this, all right? Let us go to Ephesians 6 and 12. Because we got to understand who is the true enemy. Mm-hmm. The true enemy, I just read this. The true enemy is, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against government rulers, against powers and government rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Let me read that over. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against government rulers of the darkness of this world, and against spiritual wickedness in high places. Okay, that's what's actually taking place. That's actually what's going on in the world today. We're wrestling against people, and that is the source of the problem, right? So now, when we start to look at our reality, we got to understand who's actually in control of the United States, of the global system. government officials, right? And so whatever we see that's taking place within the government, within our society today, we got to look at the government officials who's actually creating all these rules and regulations that governs the people or controls the people. So now when we start to look at that, we got to understand that they all have a plan and an agenda, which is Trump agenda is trying to be enforce agenda 2025. But subconsciously, as a people, we do not see Agenda 2025 because the simple fact is we still trying to spend time with these people and think that they're gonna love us regardless of what we do for them. Or they're gonna love us regardless of what we do for them. We can send our children to war. We can send our children to the institution so they can make plenty of money. We can sacrifice our families for them. We can do whatever they want us to do, and we're willing to do it. And we're thinking that we're buying love from them, but in actuality, they're still hating us for our good. Mm-hmm. That's what Psalm 109 just said. Mm-hmm. So now when we understand that who's in control of everything is the government officials, right? Now, when you look at everything that's been taking place since 1929, just go hypothetically 1920s, they started women's movements, which was the initiation to destroy the families. In 1920 to the 1930s, they had Blood Summer, which was massacring and deleting a lot of African American people. And the first bomb that was dropped on its own citizens came from the United States government in itself in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Then after the 1930s, you came the 1940s and 50s when we as Hebrew or African American people were fighting for equal rights. We wasn't fighting for to have more rights than the other ethnicities. We were just fighting to have equal rights. So it was a push for Marcus Garvey, then Elijah Muhammad, and then Malcolm X and Martin Luther King during that time of 20 to 25 years, 27 years. We was fighting for equal rights. Medgar Evers and all these people was pushing for equal rights at the table, but not understanding that behaviors and ideologies come down through DNA. We're not recognizing that no matter how much you try to clean a pig up, a pig's still gonna continue to be a pig. You cannot change You cannot change the stripes of the zebra because the zebra is born with those stripes. And it ain't nothing that you can do about it, regardless of what you try to do. So from 1930, from the 1920s to the 1920s and 1930s, we was going through blood summers. They was massacring us and taking us all out, taking our lands away from us. We was going through the Jim Crow era. And then from the 1940 to 1970s, we were fighting for equal rights for Marcus Garvey, Elijah Muhammad, Medgar Evers, Dr. King, and so many other Black profound people who's just pushing for equal rights and even trying to have the opportunity to even vote. That was during this time period. Even though we was voting in 1865 and we had more representatives in Congress in 1865 than we presently do now, but that's beside the point. But what I'm just trying to say is we was voting and trying to have all these things for 27, 30 years. We finally got the opportunity to vote. We legalized vote. We finally got the Civil Rights Act. Have equal opportunities to be able to sit at the table. But during that midst of time, they was studying us and they was understanding that if you got a strong family, if you got a strong bond and a strong family, nothing could stop you. They understood the genre of the music. They understood family connections. 80% of the Black families in the 60s and the 70s was married with two households and two households and two people in the household. They understood that. They understood that We was more successful together than we were divided. So during the 1970s that they saw that we was moving and we was shaking, they said that we needed to get a plan to destroy the black family. The first and one of the reason why we really haven't had many successful leaders is because J. Edgar Hoover said that we got to kill the black Messiah. We cannot let the black Messiah rise. And if there is going to be a black Messiah, it's the one that we're going to put up before them. So from 1970 to the early 90s, they put crack cocaine into our community to destroy it because they understood how powerful we was as a family, as a unit. That's why Christ said this in Mark chapter 3, verse 25. If a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. So if that house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. How can black men and women be successful if we are divided on principles? If we're not on one accord. That's why Adam and Eve fell out, because Adam and Eve weren't on one accord. They didn't stand on the Most High's words. So from the 1970s to the 1990s, they pushed crack cocaine, they pushed guns, they pushed all these things into our community to destroy us. Even in the 1960s when Vietnam was going on and we were still trying to be able to be a part of this country, and we said, I'm going to go volunteer myself into this service to be able to fight for this country, to show this country that I love this country. And so many African American men that was in, or Hebrew men that was in this war, died from friendly fire, which was their counterparts intentionally killing them or deleting them. Good morning, my brother Junebug. Deleting them intentionally because it was still racial tension here in America, because it was racial tension here in America before they went to war. Do you think that they weren't going to experience racial tension in the war? Because when they came home out the war, they received racial tension here in America. And there's been many of men, soldiers, brothers, when they got out the war, they would walk down the streets with their military uniform on, thinking they would receive dignity and honor and respect. They got spat on. Even after they just went and fought and died for a quote unquote freedom for this country to be able to do the things that they do, when the brothers came out the military and walked down the street with their uniforms on, they was spit on, they was hated on, but they still had to ride in the back of the bus. But even in the midst of it, then they had set a plan in motion in the 1970s. Okay, we're gonna put crack cocaine in the communities, but also we're gonna start pushing for women empowerment to be able to push the women over the men so that we could be able to destroy the household. We just didn't affect them with drugs. We're going to destroy the family house lineage. The drugs don't destroy 2 or 3 generations of kids. Now the employment is going to destroy 2 or 3 generations. But in the midst of, we still fighting, we still struggling, we still trying to push and be a normal ethnicity. In the midst of going through all these struggles, we're still sacrificing day and night. Even when we wasn't supposed to participate in the Olympics, we had one of the greatest runners to ever run and win 4 medals against Germany, against the man who's considered to be the most horrific man in the world, Hitler. But when he came back home, the man won 4 medals. When he came back home, he couldn't even walk through the front door of the White House. He still had to go to the back of the door in the White House. And the president still did not even shake his hand. But Adolf Hitler shook his hand. So from the 1990s, we have been continuing trying to push and push, thinking that we still have equal rights and participating in all these processes and participating in all these things, hoping that if I just spent more time with this person, if I just did the things they asked me to do, I will be looked at as equal in their eyes. Slowly but surely, they continue to set a plot and a plan to destroy us. And we're not even realizing it because the simple fact is our mind is so set on making them happy and not keeping our eyes on the prize of the Most High. Maybe if I just spent more time, maybe if I worked 2 jobs, maybe if I bought a house in their community, maybe I bought a car what they thought looked as successful. Maybe if I just sent my kids to their schools, maybe if I just took my kids out of the local recreational area and put it in their area, maybe they would continue to like me. This is the results. They just took your voting rights away. They just took everything that you wouldn't, as of today, starting this probably in the next 6 months, you will be living as if you was living in Jim Crow era. The police will have more authority to be able to treat you like they did worse than the 60s. You will not have any representation in the Congress or the House or the Senate. You will not be able to have an equal opportunities because they also in the last year so they took DEI out. Over 600,000 sisters that work for the federal government no longer work for the federal government because the simple fact is they got rid of DEI. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. But you just give me an opportunity to work for you and hopefully I could be able to satisfy you. And if I could just put my life on the line with you and sign a contract with you, I could be able to have the things that I need to have. Because I'm putting all my trust in you. Because I'm doing everything you asked of me. I broken my families. I pushed my men down. I sold my kids out. I did all these things for you. So now I just need you just to help me out. But what did they do to you? They spat right in your face. Second Corinthians chapter 6, verse 17. It says, wherefore come from among them, and ye be separate, saith Yahuwah, and touch not the unclean things, that I will receive you. and I will be a father unto you, and ye shall be my sons and daughters, saith Yahuwah Almighty. See, the more time that we're trying to please man in the governmental system, the more the Most High was hating us. Because it also says this in scriptures. Because it says this in James chapter 4, verse 4. Ye adulterers and adulteress, know ye not the friendship of the world is war with Ananias? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of Ananias. See, when we were so trying to be friends with the world and the people who's controlling the systems of this world, we was more enemies of Ananias and didn't even realize it. We was trying to kiss their butts by saying, okay, I'm gonna send my child to a PWI because the simple fact is he probably can go to the NFL and be a slave in the NFL market. But if not, I want him just to go to a PWI. But I'm gonna send my. That's right, Brother Greg. Brother Greg says it's really sad we love them more than we love our own selves. You're right. So now, if we don't send our kids to, I need to move up to Alpharetta and Roswell instead of working in our own backyard because, um, um, uh, see, the most I want to see how you deal with your own before he can be able to increase you with more. Right? I'm trying to find the scripture. Um, 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 he said, okay, so if I can't, I want to move out of my community because some fact is, I want to move into that community so they will accept me more. You left your educational systems, you left your communities. Oh, I like Gucci, Prada, so that because y'all can see that I'm trying to be acceptable by you, so that you can love me more. Because your name, your imprint on my body means more than anything because you see that I'm worthy of being accepted. All these things we did. Like just look at I'd rather go to Houston's than to go to JJ's Rib Shack. Even though Houston don't like you, but JJ Love Shack love you. But now we're in this predicament. Now we're in this predicament. Read you something.
Did you find the scripture you was looking for? Was it in First Timothy?
Hold on for a second. What is it? First Timothy
5:8, providing for your own household before others.
Okay, I use that one. First Timothy 5:8.
Um,
But if any provides not for his own, especially for those of his own house, He has denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. The Most High said, you can't take care of nobody else's before you take care of your own. But we rather go to everything else before we do anything for ourselves. But now when we get spit in our face, we hurt. But why should we be hurt? But let me read you something. Plans for the, what you call the name of the virus? The hantavirus. The hantavirus.
Did you say players?
Plans.
Oh, plans. Okay.
Y'all know that. No, this is what it is. I'm just going to read you the headlines. The new pandemic, the hantavirus, spread from rodents to humans, old and new world. Hantavirus has become epidemic in many continents, but small cases of person-to-person transmission, strong enough evidence to fear its pandemic potential. This came out May 10th, 2021. In April 1993, concerns of mysterious plague outbreak gripped the Native American region border Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and New Mexico after the mysterious death of a young Navajo couple in New Mexico. State officials struggled to identify the cause, but were able to link to a symptom dozen more cases in this region. They was planning that the hantavirus
5 years ago.
5 years ago.
That's May 10th, 2021. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
May 10th. Tomorrow is 5 years ago.
5 years ago, May 10th, 2021. They planned for this virus 5 years ago. This ain't no new virus that just came on the scene. Okay, it's also patent. Okay. Okay, it says Bill Gates, this is another one. Bill Gates planned hantavirus outbreak. Conspiracy theories uproar after text mobile error prediction of resurfaces. A resurfaced interview featuring Bill Gates has set the internet ablaze with conspiracy theories swirling around a deadly hantavirus outbreak on a cruise ship triggered fresh panic. The controversy begins after reports confirmed that a Dutch cruise ship saw an outbreak of hantavirus, leaving 3 people dead and at least 5 cases identified so far. The vessel, which departed from Argentina weeks ago, is now headed towards the Canary Islands as health authorities race to contain the situation. The World Health Organization has stressed that the outbreak is expected to remain limited, with contact tracing also underway across multiple countries. So Bill Gates predicted this a long time ago. But they were also preparing for this since 2021. Okay? That's just something, right? Black Congresswoman say MAGA Republicans in his state told him slavery was a good thing and believed they would absolutely reinstitute Jim Crow. This came out April 14th, 2026. Congressman John Claiborne recently stated that some MAGA Republicans have told outright they wish to return to the country's social and political landscape to Jim Crow and slavery era. During an appearance on the PBS Firing Lines with Mega Hoover back in November, the 85-year-old U.S. representative gave a detailed overview of his newest book, The First Eight, a personal history of pioneers, Black congressmen who shaped a nation, which tells the story of South Carolina's first 8 black congressmen who were elected after the Civil War, and how they navigated intense racial dynamics, reshaped political office, and paved the way for Clyburn rise to power as the ninth congressional from the Palmetto State. But the simple fact is, they're trying to take us back to Jim Crow or the slavery era. But only if we could have done some things right. Okay, it says after Scotus destroyed the Voting Rights Act, Southern states rushed to push Jim Crow voting maps. A week after the Supreme Court effectively destroyed the key remaining provisions of the Voting Rights Act, Tennessee on Thursday became the first Southern state to pass a new redistricting map eliminating a majority black district. The hastily drawn map abolished the state's last Democratic district by splitting the city of Memphis, which is more than 60% black, into three districts, all of them predominantly white Republicans held seats that stretches hundreds of miles deep into rural areas, effectively silencing the state's largest black community. Memphis has had its own congressional district since 1923. The map also divided the city of Nashville, which had already been split apart during the last redistricting cycles to pick up another GOP seat into 5 districts to further dilute the power of black voters. Forced prison labors in the land of the free, rooted in racism and economic exploitation spotlights. I'm just going to read a little bit. Incarcerated labor is rooted in slavery and bears an especially striking resemblance in the South. The incarceration and extraction of labor from prisoners in the South is directly rooted in legalists of slavery. Though the 13th Amendment of the Constitution abolished slavery in the United States, it has also legalized slavery as punishment for crimes, which is legalized crime. After the exception was in place, Southern states quickly implemented black codes, laws that criminalized many mundane activities of formerly enslaved black men and women and subject many of them once again to unpaid forced labor under the convict leasing system. Why am I bringing all this up? Because of my teachings today. Our mindset is, if I could have spent more time, it wouldn't have treated me this way. But in the back, the whole town is laughing at me because the simple fact is they understand what they was doing, but we never understood what they was doing because we was trying to please man more than we was trying to please the Most High. So now when we're looking at Jeremiah chapter 30, we got to go through a little bit more because we depended more on this man than we did the Most High. We depended on the system, which Ephesians 6 and 12 told you it was rooted in evil. But we still depended on the system that was wicked. But you expect for this system to help you, even though the system is against you since they arrived on our land. Because Malcolm X said, we didn't ride. Plymouth Rock didn't land on us. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us, stating that we was here from the very beginning. So let us go to Jeremiah chapter 30. And that ain't gonna be long. I don't keep you long already, and I know your attention span ain't that long for some people, especially those who not willing to really listen. Because let me ask you a question. I'm finna get started, right? How do you think all those congressmen and women of African or Hebrew descent feel now after all their districts have been redesigned where they can't go into office anymore? How do you think they feel? What do you think their processes of the state of mind is? Now, because they've been doing redistricting lines, they've been drawing redistricting lines at all the black communities, right? And these black representatives been buddy with these politicians who've been behind the scenes drawing redistricting lines. Now, how you think those congressmen and women feel right now? Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 1, it says, the word that came to Jeremiah from Yahuwah, saying, thus speak Yahuwah Adonai of Israel. I'm going to read it like this. It says, thus speaketh the Lord God of Israel, saying, write thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. See, the Bible is, the God of the Bible is the God of the Bible for the children of Israel and Judah, and not for nobody else. Okay? Understand that everybody else can be drafted in, but they got to attach themselves to Judah and Benjamin, Judah and Israel. Okay? It said, for lo, the day comes, said the Lord, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, Israel and Judah. See, he's sticking a fork in that. He's sticking a fork in Israel and Judah. That's what he's doing. He's letting you know who his people is. Not the Christians, not the Muslims, not the Buddhists, not the Hindus, but Israel and Judah, which is a nation of people. Not a religious, not an organized religion, not Christianity, not the Catholic, not the Pentecostal or the Methodist or the Baptist. It's a nation of people. It says, thus saith Yahuwah. It says, Yahuwah, I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. And these are the words that Yahuwah spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah, not nobody else. Listen to that. And see, this nation now who they're persecuting is Israel and Judah. They're taking the votes away from Israel and Judah. They're bringing the plagues on Israel and Judah. Verse 4. And these are the words that Yahuwah spoke concerning Israel and Judah. Israel and concerning Judah. It says, for thus saith Yahuwah, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, not of peace. And ye ask ye now, and see whether a man do travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, in birth pain, and all faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for the day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved. See, everything is about what we're seeing now is people trying to stop the promise from coming into existence. People trying to turn back the hands of times and put certain people back into slavery. And that's never going to happen again. Never in existence will slavery ever happen in the United States again. Never. I guarantee you that. Too many African American people, Hebrew people, have weapons. They're training. They're arming themselves. 50% of soldiers that's I say 30 to 40% of the soldiers that was in the military, African American people who know how to arm themselves and who know how to defend themselves. So Jim Crow slavery will never exist again in the manner in which they thought it would be, because the simple fact is we are training, we are arming ourselves, and we are willing to defend ourselves from this course of action. But the process of them trying to do it is something that they're supposed to do. That's why my teaching said trouble is on the horizon. This must come to pass. It is there. It is in the Most High's plans that we go through. We be tested one more last time. This is the last time that we be tested in this moment, because it says in verse 7, Alas, for that day is great, so none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Meaning that we got to go through one more little last obstacle before we out of here. We got to go through this part. We got to be able to understand that who is our true enemy. We got to understand that who is really, truly against us. See, we can't continue to think that if I spent more time with people that love me, if I did all these things that love me, no, we got the most. What the Most High is actually doing is pulling the veil, taking the taking the taking the veil off your eyes so that you can see actually your reality, actually the people who hate you, actually the people who's against you. That's what the Most High is really doing right now at this point in time. But it's up to you to realize that. And I know it's a hard pill for people to swallow, because the simple fact that we always thought that if I just did this, they'll like me. If I just did that, they'll love me. If I just did this, they'll accept me. If I was just smart enough, they'll just say that I can speak. I ain't speaking anybody. If I was just this way. But no, what the Most High is actually doing is taking the veil off your eyes so you can really truly see the nature of people. Because it says this. Go to Genesis chapter 27, verse 41. Okay, it says this in Genesis chapter 27, verse 41. It says, Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the day of mourning for my father is at hand. Then I will slay my brother Jacob. See, Esau have always hated Jacob, and it never went away. See, that's why I say it's run deep into the bloodline, the DNA. Because this has been passed down for thousands and thousands of years. These people actually hate your guts. And it ain't nothing that you can do about it. Why would you want to turn somebody's voting rights away if you love them? Why would you want to put somebody back into slavery if you love them? Why would you want to take everything away from these people who fought so hard to get what they got? And these people have tried to satisfy you by every means necessary. Why would you want to take that away from them? unless you just hate them. Just in your bloodline and your DNA that you just hate these people this much. Every time they see you, they can't. They be wanting to say some stuff to you, but they can't because they know that they can't. Esau have had a perpetual hatred towards Jacob for a long time. And now what the Most High is doing is just taking the fish scale. That's what I wanted to say. He's taking the fish scales off your eyes so you can actually really see your reality. Actually see your reality for what it is. Even though we're saying in our mind, if I could just do this and if I can just do that, they'll love me. But the Most High is showing you, no. I'm trying to show you who you actually are around. Do you honestly think that these cops who was deleting unarmed brothers really truly love them brothers? Because they said they had opportunities to do that to their own people and they didn't do it. When they stopped them and get harassed by them. Look at the sentences. When the judge sentenced a brother for the same crime or lesser crime than his own people, what does the sentences look like? So the Most High said, okay, go back to Jeremiah 31, 30. He said, I'm just trying to show you something. He said, these things must come to pass. This is our reality. This is our state. This is something that we got to deal with. It ain't nothing you can change about it. This is something that you got to take hold to and accept it and deal with it. You're going to go through a little bit more trouble. But this is it. Before you go to the wilderness, this is your last trouble. This is your last test. This is the last push. Because it says again, Alas, for that day is great, none, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, he shall be saved out of it. See, that's the most rewarding part of it, is that the Most High know that I'm going to protect my people even in the midst of them going through it. Because he know that you had a pure heart for serving them. But he said, imagine if you just serve me, what is the reward that you'll get? You gave all this to these people, and they treating you this way. Now imagine me being your father, and I chose you above all people. Now imagine if you just served me with all your heart, mind, and soul, what I'll give you. He said, but you got to go through a little bit more, but I'm going to protect you, okay? Let us go to Deuteronomy chapter 7. I'm going to go to verse 6, 7, and 8, okay? It says, for thou art an holy people unto Yahuwah thy Adonai. For Yahuwah thy Adonai has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that is upon the face of the earth. Now listen to that. Everybody wants your culture. Everybody wants your language. Everybody wants your style. Everybody wants everything about you. Because they understand who you are as a people. But it's for us to understand who we are as a people. We got to realize that capacity. We got to realize that in the mind that we are Most High's chosen people. And we got to walk, we got to talk, and we got to act like we are the Most High's chosen people. Okay, it says, then in verse 7 it says, Yahuwah did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in numbers than any people, for you were the fewest of all people. Now, that's why they keep emphasizing that the African American people or black people in America are the lowest, has the lowest population rate in the country, is because we are few in numbers. And that is a sign to us that because we're few in numbers, that means that the Most High still have his hand on us. That is something that we got to wrap our minds and mind, because if he's saying I chose you because you was few in numbers, that means we still few in numbers in America. 13% of the population. Even Hispanics have went above what they quote unquote say. So it's letting us know indirectly that we're still the Most High chosen people. Verse 8, it says, but because Yahuwah love you, and because he will keep the oath which he swore unto your father, has Yahuwah brought you out of with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hands of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And I want to say this. If he delivered us out of slavery here in America, from picking that cotton, what make you think he won't deliver us from this situation we're in right now? What make you think he won't do that? He made the North and South fight against each other to free us. Brother was killing brothers for money. Now, what make you think the Most High ain't going to do it for us now? What is going to be the cause of another civil war here in America? And it's all going to be over us. Because the Most High is freeing us at this moment. The Most High is freeing us from oppression. The Most High is freeing us from all these situations of hardship, sickness, disease, and curses, and persecutions. The Most High is doing that to us right now. But we got to realize that. He said, yeah, you got to go through a little bit more, but I got you. You're going to go through a little bit more, but I got you. But it ain't going to really hurt you that much. Because I'm going to make them fight each other. I'm going to make them do the same thing that they did. That them curses starting to fall on them. Let us go to Isaiah chapter 41. Eight and 9. It says, but thou, Israel, art my servants, Jacob, whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham, my friend. See, the Most High is staking claim in certain groups of people for a reason. The Most High, every parent got a favorite. Not saying that he don't love all, but every parent has a favorite. And African American people, the tribe of Israel and Judah, is Most High's favorite among every nation of people. We're his favorite. He's going to protect us regardless of. And then it says, thou whom I have taken from the ends of the earth and called thee from the chief men thereof, and said unto thee, thou art my servant. I have chosen thee and not cast thee away. See, that's what we got to understand right now. The Most High ain't cast us away. He just wanted us to wake up to our reality. He wanted us to wake up to the situation at hand. He's wanting us to see. He's taking, when I say he's taking the veil off people's eyes, he's really taking the veil off people's eyes to see that, man, these people really trying to take us back into slavery. Gun sales should skyrocket today in the black community. Everybody should be going to buy as many guns as they can and as many bullets as they can. Because these people have an intentions to harm you. You should be buying guns at an enormous rate where they saying they're going to try to cut off selling guns. You should be going to the store buying much ammo as you possibly can, because the simple fact is these people really trying to put us back into slavery. That's the reality that we should be seeing, because that's what Jim Crow was. We should be saying by any means necessary. Let us go to Malachi, go to Malachi chapter 1. And I know it's a horse pill to swallow, because the simple fact is we've been, yeah, it's what?
It's a shocker to some people that can't believe we're here.
Yeah, because we've been saying if I could just do this for them, and if I could just do that for them, and if I could just do this for them, and if I could just do that for them, they'll love me. No matter what I do, if I just send my kids to their school, they'll love me. If I just dress like them with the skinny leg jeans, if I could just wear the tight shirt,
Some European suits.
Yeah, if I just wear all that tight stuff, the European look, they'll just love me and accept me. If I just did what they did, they'll love me and accept me. But they keep most of keep trying to show you no. Go to Deuteronomy. Everybody said Malachi chapter 1, verse 2 and 3. But let me go to Deuteronomy chapter 28. Listen to this, please. I ain't gonna say please, but I'm just gonna say listen to this, right? Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 16, it says, and Yahuwah shall bring thee into bondage again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee. And thou shalt see, ye shall not see your homeland again, and ye shall be sold unto your enemies. Don't say your friends.
Enemies.
It says your enemies. Listen to that. And ye shall be sold to your enemies as slave men and slave women, and no man shall buy you. Listen to that. He said, you're going to be amongst your enemies. He didn't say anything about friends. And see, what they're doing now is showing you that they are your enemies and not your friend. How could you think that people are your friends when they're trying to take everything away from you? I know some people who, if people listen to me today and they ain't used to this, they're going to be so uncomfortable in their seat, boy. They ain't going to like this, Greg. Greg, they ain't going to like this. Because it's so uncomfortable for people because they're not used to hearing, dealing with the reality of the Bible.
That's right. That's what we are. That's right.
They've been told fairy tales of the Bible and not the reality of the Bible.
The kumbaya. Yeah.
That's what they've been told, the kumbaya of the Bible. But this is in reality. This is a dang horse pill. Malachi chapter 1, verse 1 and 2, it says, I love you, said Yahuwah. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Said Yahuwah, yet I love Jacob, and I hate Esau. He don't hate Esau because of his skin tone. He don't hate Esau because of anything but what Esau does. He hates you because of your actions, not because of anything else. He don't hate you because of how you look. He hates you because of what you do. Understand that. He don't hate you for anything else but what you do. He hate Esau because of his action. He said, I hate Esau, and lay his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build a desolate place. Thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the borders of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahuwah has indignation forever. See, Most High gonna hate these people for the rest of their life because of their intentions, because of their mentality, because of their spirit. These people can't get no love from the Most High. Because look in verse 4, the last word. I'm gonna read the last sentence. It says, the people against whom Yahuwah has indignation forever. It didn't say for a few minutes. It didn't say for a couple of months. It didn't say for a generation. It said forever.
And the people who say God is a God of love and he don't see things like that, they need to really focus on that scripture.
Right, because they don't. Yeah, you're right. So let us go back to Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 8.
Mm, mm, mm.
See, the Most High, when he made that contract with Israel, it was forever.
Mm.
When he say he hates you forever, he don't break it. He said, "My word shall not go out and come back void."
Mm-hmm.
That means it's gonna be there and gonna be there, and it's not going to go away.
Mm.
Verse 8, it says, "For it shall come to pass in that day, said the who of hosts, that I will break his yoke off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him." So, what we think, that's why I said trouble is on the horizon, but this too must come to pass. Everything, every freedom comes through tests. Freedom comes through testing. Freedom comes through trials and tribulations. Freedom comes through war. But freedom comes. And in the midst of a war of freedom fighters or whatever, some people ain't gonna make it, but some people gonna make it.
Mm.
But what is actually taking place, it is taken what is taken away is the people who think they're superior is taking away their power. It's taking away everything that they thought they had. Just like when Great Britain thought they had power over the US. And then they had to fight 1776, whatever. But the United States got their freedom, but they had to get their freedom through war and calamities. Okay? But that's what we're going through. We're going through the same thing.
So it's the seven.
1776.
7.
That's why they that's why they that's why they say that's why they love 1776 so much. It was bloodshed for freedom. It's gonna be bloodshed for freedom. It says, "But they shall serve Yahuwah the Adonai,
50 years.
and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them." It says, "Therefore fear not thou, fear not, therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob." Listen to that. This is the reassuring message. He's talking to a specific group of people for a specific reason. It says, "Therefore thou fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith Yahuwah, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivities, and Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid." See, this is what the Most High is telling us. My servant Jacob and Israel, I'm gonna save you from your troubles. I'm gonna put you in a quiet place. This is where the wilderness comes into play. I'm gonna put you into a quiet place of rest, and I'm gonna restore you. But you got to go through this little moment because it's time for you to get ready to get out of here. But you're gonna have a little trouble before you go. Okay, and it says, "For I am with you." This is the reassuring message that the Most High is telling us, even in the midst of them thinking they're gonna bring Jim Crow back. Even in the midst of they thinking they're gonna bring slavery back. Even in the midst of they thinking that they're gonna bring their agenda back in 2020, 2025 agenda. Even in the midst of what they're thinking their plan is, the Most High has the ultimate plan for himself and for his people. The Most High got his own plan. Man can have his plans, but the Most High got his plan. And see, a lot of the times you can say, "I'm going to the grocery store and pick up some bread." Some people never made it to the grocery store. Some people never made it back to the grocery store. Some came up with they had a flat tire. Some came up with they had to go do some else call, had to go do this. Anything could happen. That's why you got to say, "Let thy will be done." Okay? In verse 11 it says, "For I am with thee, saith Yahuwah, to save thee, protect thee. Though I will make a full," listen. "I will make a full end of all nations where thou hast scattered thee. Yet will I not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished." See, what the Most High said in this? He said, "I will make a full end of all nations," because he hate them so much because of what they have done. He gonna get rid of them. He said, "I will make a full end of all nations where I have scattered thee. Yet will I not make a full end of thee." That's a confirmation that you're gonna be okay, but you got to go through the trouble. Mm. You can't take this vaccine that they're gonna bring out. Mm-hmm. You can't play this game that they playing because you just learned from it last time 4 years ago. But I will correct thee in measure. He said, "I'm gonna correct you in measure. I'm gonna correct you the way I want to correct you. I'm gonna treat you the way I want to treat you, but I'm gonna take care of you." That's what the Most High is saying. It says, "And will not leave thee altogether unpunished. For this saith the Lord, thy bruises is incurable, and thy wounds are grievous." He said, "You have been through tough stuff. You kind of messed up. You kind of jacked up. You kind of wounded a little bit. You cursed, you bruised. You got a lot of scars on you from being around all them people." He said, "But I still got you though. I ain't gonna let you just perish away. But you got some wounds and some bruises, some bad ones. Just like them children when they came out of Egypt, they still wanted to worship golden calves, and they still wanted to do all this stuff." He said, "That's how you are. You wounded. You still got that Egypt in you. You still got them old ways in you, but you all right. I got you." He said, "There's none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicine, because all your preachers are lying to you." He says, "All thy lovers." This is what I want you to understand. The trouble gonna come because we depended on these people, depended on man. It says, "All thy lovers have forgotten thee. They seek thee not. For I have wounded thee with the wounds of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitudes of thy iniquities, because thy sin was increased." Okay? It says, "All thy lovers have forgotten thee." Right? All thy lovers have forgotten thee, right? Teddy Pendergrass saying, "I had your love right here in the palm of my hands. I lost it. I lost it. Had a love so real one man can feel. I lost it. I lost it." See now, right? In the midst of us, it says, "All thy lovers," everything that we loved, every person we worship, everything that we thought gonna get us to where we needed to go, they have forgotten us in this very moment. The people who we thought we could depend on to help us turned their head and said, "I don't know you." The people who we voted for have forgotten us. The people who we put in office, the people, because there was some Hebrews walking around with "Make America Great Again." Now he have forgotten you. The same man who you said, I love you, if I could just spend more time with you," have forgotten you now because they don't got what they wanted from you. They don't know you no more. You chasing after them, but they don't know who you are. Mm. You chasing after them and asking you, "Can I vote? Can I have my district? Could you not put me in Jim Crow again?" Mm. They said, I don't know who you are. I don't know you.
Mm. Mm.
Go to Genesis chapter 32.
In that 3.57 years of great tribulation. Oh, God.
It says, Then Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed, and he divided the people that was with him, the flocks and the herds and the camels, into two bands. And said, If Esau come to the one company and smite it, then the other company which is left shall escape. And Jacob said, O Ananiah, my father Abraham, the Ananiah of my father Isaac, the Lord of which said unto me, Return to thy country and to the kindred, I will deal well with thee. See, at the moment of trouble, you don't want the people to forget you. But these people have forgotten you. They wrote these redistricting names against you. They don't know you no more. You don't exist in their eyes anymore. They don't got what they wanted. Trump got about 5 to 10 to 15% of black voters this time. Now he don't know you. Let us go to Psalms. No, let us go to Limitations. See, in the midst of Jacob approaching Esau, Jacob was in the back of his mind saying, Father, don't forget me. I don't know how this fool gonna act. Don't forget me. Lamentation 1 and 19. It says, I call for my lover, but they deceive. Listen, I called for my lover, but they deceived me. My priest and my elders gave up the ghost in the city while they sought their meat to relieve their souls. Listen to that. I called for my lovers, but they deceived me. My priest and my elders gave up the ghost in the city while they sought their meat to relieve their souls. Behold, O Yahuwah, I am in distress. My bowels are troubled. My heart is turned within me. For I have grievous rebelled abroad with the sword. At home there's as death. That's the way we're feeling right now. We ain't got nobody to turn to. We ain't got nobody to turn to. Hosea 2 and 5. Listen, this is what our people did. For their mothers played the harlot. She that conceived them has done shamefully. For she said, I will go after my lover that gave me my bread, my water, my wood, my flex, my oil, and my drink. Listen to that. That's what sisters are saying. The 600,000 women who lost their jobs. They're saying, for their mothers have played the harlot. She that conceived them has done shamefully. For she said, I will go after my lovers, the government, that gave me my bread, my water, my food, my flex, my oil, my drink. Therefore, behold, I will hedge up the ways with thorns and make a wall that she shall not find her path. See, in the midst of us getting ready to go through this trouble, the people who we thought we could depend on, we can't depend on. The people who we thought we can go vote for, the people who we thought we could even the black caucus, they gone. You might as well say they gone now. Even when you see all these things happening, some other people say, man, who can I go to now? They don't forgot me. I ain't got nobody to depend on. I'm getting ready to go through some trouble. and I ain't got nobody to depend on. Come on in, and we're about done. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 15. It says this, why criest thou for thy afflictions? Thy sorrows are incurable for the multitudes of thy iniquities. He said, you can't be healed because of all the sins that you have done. Because thy sins were increased, I have done these things unto thee. Listen to that again. We're in the situation we're in because of our sin. Look at our sins that we've done. Look at our relationships. Look at our marriages. Look at our home. Look at our kids. Look at our finances. Look at everything that we've done. Do you think we really should be blessed? Look at us not supporting each other. We're supporting other people first. Do you think we really should be blessed? Look at the food we eat. Look at the hair that we buy. Look at the eyelashes and the fingernails. Look at all the stuff that we do. Do you really think we should be blessed? It says, therefore, all that they devour, these shall be devoured. And all thy adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be spoiled. And all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. But it's not saying that you're not going to go through the things that you're going through and the things that you're going to go through because of what you've done. And they're going to go through what they're going to go through because of what they've done. It says, for I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, said Yahuwah, because they call thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. And it says, thus saith Yahuwah, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob, Jacob's tent, and have mercy on his dwelling places, and the city shall be built upon her own heap, and the palaces shall remain after the manner thereof. So that's what I'm saying to you. Even though it may look bad, it's not bad. But it's something that we got to go through. We got to get through these obstacles. But he's saying to you, your trouble is coming because you was depending more on man to get you through the things that you need to get through in life, and not depending on the Most High. Because you say, if I can go to universities, if I can do, and if I can just conform to their ideology, I'll be all right. That's what you were saying. If I could just conform to their way of living, if I could just conform to the way they eat, if I could just conform to the way they think, if I just could conform, I'll be all right. In the moment that you conform, the moment he forgot you because he done got what he wanted from you. And it says, out of them shall proceed thanksgiving and the voice of them that make merry, and I will multiply them, and they shall not be few. And I will also glorify them, and they shall not be small. Their children also shall be aforetime, and their congregation shall be established before me, and I will punish all that oppress them. Listen to that. And their nobles shall be of themselves. Listen. Because the more you go vote for other people, the more you shouldn't vote for other people. Because this is what he's saying. Listen to this part. And their nobles shall be of themselves, and their governors shall proceed from the midst of them. And I will cause them to draw near, and he shall approach unto me. For who is this that engaged his heart to approach unto me, said Yahuwah. See, their nobles shall be of themselves, from your own tribe. Their governors shall proceed from the midst of them. Everybody that's going to be controlling you or influencing you or directing you going to be from your own people with the same mindset. Now, these people who are doing all this stuff now ain't your governors, ain't your noblemen, ain't from your own tribe. Go to verse 22. And ye shall be my people, and I will be your Ananiah. Behold, the whirlwind of Yahuwah go forth with fury, and the whirlwind of Yahuwah go forth with fury, a continuing whirlwind. It shall fall with pain upon the head of the wicked.
Yes. Yes.
That is it. That's something that we got to understand. And then it says, the fierce anger of Yahuwah shall not return until
He has performed the intent of his heart.
listen to that. What it say? The fierce anger of Yahuwah shall not return until he
Has done it
has done it, until he has performed all the intent
of his heart.
of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider. I'm gonna read one verse, two verses, and I'm done. I'm tired. Isaiah 66 and 15. It says, behold, Yahuwah will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. See, in the midst of us, we're going through trouble because we were chasing somebody who we shouldn't have been chasing, and we was doing things to people who we know we shouldn't have been doing things with. And it's going to come against the people anyway. It's going to come against these people who are trying to intentionally destroy us because of their ill intent and their perpetual hatred towards us. We just got to continue to endure.
Yes.
We just got to continue to keep the faith.
Yes.
We just got to continue to do the right thing, keep the commandments, laws, statutes, and commandments. We just got to continue to do the right thing in the midst of these days and time. Because it says, no weapon formed against me, what? Shall prosper. And when they lay a trap for me, let that trap be laid for themselves.
Yes.
So these are the things that we got to think about and understand that what they think they're doing ain't really what they're doing. But we're going to be squeezed a little bit in the midst of it.
Yeah. Don't give in.
Don't give in, don't give up.
Yes.
But I would recommend that if you don't have a weapon, go buy a weapon. If you don't have ammo, go get ammo. Because he also told his disciples, go sell your clothes and go buy a sword. They said, well, we got two. He said, that's sufficient. That's how Peter cut the man's ear out, because the sword that he had went and got. Only reason why he got mad with Peter and put the man's ear back on, not because he was mad at Peter because he cut the man's ear off, is because he didn't want Peter to stop prophecy. That was about. It was about stopping prophecy. It wasn't because of anything else. He wasn't mad at Peter because Peter cut the man's ear. He said, man, you can't stop prophecy. Get behind me, Satan, because you're trying to stop prophecy, and I don't want you to do that. I got to die for my people. Even when before King was getting ready, he was assassinated, he was buying weapons. He was arming himself. Malcolm had arms. All the leaders had arms. They wasn't weaponless. Al Sharpton and all these other people are sellouts. That's why they telling you not to have none. They sellouts. But that concludes the teaching for today. I'm done. But I pray that you get some from this message. That I pray the Most High give you, really truly bless you. I pray that He give you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. I pray that He allow you to hear the way you want to hear. He wants you to hear, see the way he wants you to see, speak the way he wants you to speak, and understand the way he wants you to understand. Father, we know that we're getting ready to go through some Jacob's trouble, and you testing your people. But we also ask that you help your people and help them prepare for what's to come. Father, we ask that you just let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Father, we ask that you give them the strength to be able to research what's going on in the world so that it will not bother them, so that they could be keeping their eyes on you. Look to the hills which cometh their help, which is you, Abba. So, Father, we just ask that you continue to be with us and guide us, provide us, and let us start working on the things that we need to work on so that we can be successful. Yes. And be saved and protected during these times of calamities. In your higher name we pray. So let it be. Y'all have a blessed one. Thank you for listening. And I ask that you just continue to push like on the YouTube and share. Thank you. Subscribe as well. Subscribe, like, and share. Thank you. Those who lean on your word stand firm like a tree, rooted deep in your truth, forever steady, free. Your Torah is life, not one word fails. Your kindness is everlasting and always prevails. My trust is in you, my faith in your hands. Yes. You are the foundation in which I stand. Yes. I trust you, Yahweh. You never forsake me. Your word is always true. I stand in your favor. I call on your name. Teach yourself. Yeah, yeah. You hold me, I shall firmly stand. Deliver me, mighty one, with your mighty hand. I trust in you, I shall flourish and rise. Your word is my lamp, your heart, my pride. You deliver me from darkness of strife. No harm shall overtake me. You guard all my life. My own my strength is from you. Teach your servant and light all my way through. I trust you, you never forsake me. Your word is always true. I stand in your favor. I call on your name. Teach your servant your way. I place my trust in you every day. For you know all things. You will make a way. You give me your breath. Your love to sustain. Your love sets me. Your power for remain. I trust in you. I trust in your mind. For you, Yahweh, go before me day and night. Even in weakness, I will not despair. Your steadfast love surrounds me everywhere. You are my song, my deliverance, my life. You guard my being, you guard my sight. I trust in your word, I trust in your name, forever and ever. Your love stays the same. My heart rejoices, my ruach shall proclaim. All esteem to Yahuwah, forever the same. I trust you, Yahuwah. You never forsake me. Your word is always true. I stand in your faith. I call on your name. Teach your servant how to fight. I trust you. You never forsake me. Your word is always true. I stand in your faith. I call on your name. Teach your servant how to fight. I trust my abode in you. You never forsake me. Your word is always true. I stand in your favor. I call on your name. Teach your son how to follow. You have a blessing. Shalom, shalom, shalom.